Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Higurashi When They Cry. Let's continue. So I'm pretty sure we're ready to have this one now because we've got Uri's decision. How his conviction for whatever it was. Actually, this one I think. And we've got Satoko's detailed test, but first I'm going to do the depression of the Shinto priest. So we've got the Shinto priest contacting the Uri Institute done now. So let's get started. The gathering place inside of the three-day shrine is in fact the headquarters of the Yonagafuchi Guardians. Normally, the shrine should be a calm and quiet place, but there are anti-dam signs everywhere, making it very obvious what this location has become. There are over 30 members of the Guardians here at the moment, and they are having a heated conversation about their plans for the future. Although this meeting place is on the three-day family's property, it's a community facility, so it closes at 9 p.m. Of course, sometimes the discussion gets so heated that it goes on past closing time, but meetings are supposed to end by 9. If the discussion ends early, they usually chit-chat until that time. That's what usually happens. Of course, they mostly talk about the dam even when they chit-chat. They talk about someone's mistreatment of a government office, or someone getting arrested unjustly, or complain that people at the dam construction site are too violent. Since it's idle chatter, the topics are slightly emotional. Because of that, there's a good deal of bad-mouthing the Ojos.
そしたらさ、回覧板捨てちゃったとか言い出すんだよ。
Wait, one thing I just thought of. I was pretty sure timeline-wise, the Rika's father meeting with the Ire Institute was before first year. Actually, no, it would have to have been after, because they have the. I'm confused. Because they isolated the pathogen, but I don't know anymore. Actually, never mind. Just ignore me.
普通に考えてそんなことするかね。あそこの奥さんはさ、ちょっと勝ち気が過ぎて攻撃的なんだよ。この間もさ、ゴミ置き場で牧野さんとこのばあさんとすんげえ口論してて。だいたいなんていうかね。本当に粗暴だよね、あそこのご主人は。理性がないというか。ああ、お前さんは地元説明会の時を見てないのかい？ありゃ、あそこまで言うからにゃ、もう村にはおれんよ。
Seemed like reasonable terms to me.
さっさと出てけばいいのにさ。金がもらえないのどうのこうの。あさましいったらありゃしないね。いやいやいやいや、理性のなさで言ったら、あそこの奥さんも相当なもんだよ。
それで、やっぱり遺伝なのかしらね。あそこのお嬢さん、買い物によく見かけるんで挨拶するんだけど、向こうから挨拶は絶対に返さないのよ。だから私たちバカバカしくなっちゃって。以来、見かけても知らないふりしてんだから。
それ言ったら、あそこの坊主も、いっつも暗そうな顔してるよな。
Why are you laughing at someone's depression? Wow. And by now, the Ojo family has become the enemy of the whole village. Bad-mouthing the Ojo family is the greatest shared topic that anyone could easily contribute to. If he had known how powerful the three families were, especially the Sonzaki family, and if he had known Norio-san's character, he wouldn't have said the things he did. The Ojo couple are residents here. Though they were never very enthusiastic about council activities, they should have known what kind of person Norio-san is. You could have imagined just what would happen to him if you talked to her that way. Yet he let his anger take over and voiced his unpleasant feelings. So most people think the Hojo family brought their isolation upon themselves. If they wanted to negotiate with the government regarding the move, they should have done so privately. Yet he was foolish enough to express himself at a public gathering like that. So, not too many sympathize with the Hojo family. Ever since the big fight at the explanatory meeting, the Sonozaki family has looked at the Hojo family as their enemy and started to go after them. That caused the other pro-Dan families to go quiet, fearing they'd be made into scapegoats too, and those who wanted to leave were bitterly forced to give up. And those people started criticizing the Hojo couple, saying they could have gotten their compensation to leave if the two hadn't picked that reckless fight. Huh? Both the anti-Dan and pro-Dan people hate the Hojos now, and the family has become even more isolated. Moreover, the Hojos are both very aggressive. They should have stayed quiet at least until things settled down, but they didn't. They alienated the handful of people who took pity on them as well, so now nobody even says anything to them. All of that was immediately obvious by listening to the foul talk here and there at the gathering place. Mika always helps out by putting the teacups away, so I'm sure she hears what they say as well. So this is Hanyu, I'm guessing. One of the Hojo family members feared bad-mouthing Rika's friend. Well, actually, this might be the young priest, actually. Sadako-chan. And here's to think about what Rika feels while hearing that. As priest of the three-day shrine, should I let this continue? Yeshua-sama is a god who makes peace between enemies. When the humans and demons fought, Yeshua-sama descended from heaven and mediated between both sides. As the caretaker of the shrine, he must do something before it goes too far. I'm sitting next to Oreo-san, who is spitefully disparaging the Hojo family.
すったらんだほが抜かしおるんよあのボケならんしゃもあもないんかいねほんまにもう知らんやっちゃいなあんの裏切り者には絶対お社様のたたりが下るんね許されなかといな
The elderly people cheer her on as they listen to her speak. I barge in now. I have a feeling it won't be a peaceful conversation. But I have to make up my mind. As a priest of the Furude Shrine. Also for the sake of Rika's friend, Sadako-chan.
お嬢さん、北条さんの悪口を言うのは、そろそろこれくらいにしませんかね。
はあなんね何倍よりおるんかいない
や、北条さんもそんな悪気はなかったと思うんだが、あまりいつまでも尾を引くのはかわいそうだと。
しゃらしいねおめあれを聞いちゃどんなすったらんわんとねなあおしゃらしいあしゃらしいしゃらしい
Yes, and everyone was very heated at that meeting. Oreo-san is the head of the Sonozaki family, the heir to the demons. She never forgives anyone who stands against her, so there's no way she would even listen to what I'm trying to say. Oreo-san and the others became furious and refused to listen to me. They also mentioned that the damn construction plan would be cancelled soon, so they should calm down already. I said that because the staff of the Irie clinic told me that the government is putting some kind of pressure on the Ministry of Construction. But thinking that I'm being an opportunist, soon criticism of me began to circulate the room. After that, I realized that I've become branded as a fence sitter. The demons are willing to listen, and there's a chance to make peace. But how can I make peace with people who refuse to listen? I destroyed their mood, so I just have to give up and shut my mouth. And I feel a little hand on my back. Rika?
リカか。
Yes, this is Rika's dad.
もう遅い時間だから家に戻っていなさい。
私たちがいくら努力しても届かない。
Rika looked into the distance while she spoke.
このよどみ切った村の悪兵は、そのよどみに住まう私たちにはどうしようもないのかもしれない。
I wonder which leap of Rika this is.
でも希望をなくすものか。今にきっとこいつらを打ち破ってくれる人がやってくる。今にきっと。
Her eyes shone as if seeing a future, but only the maiden of the fruitless shrine could see. Ooh, which is going to open up the third sacrifice, I think. Definitely the first one is now met. I'm not sure about the second one. In any case, I am going to get rid of this shattered glass so that we can actually have none of those anymore. C103 dose experiment. Plans for Sadako-chan's dissection are moving right along. I don't want Satoshi-kun to be sad. I feel pity for Sadako-chan under harsh circumstances. I'm still struggling with how much I have to sacrifice for the sake of research.
入江。
え？ああ、すみません。どうなさいましたか、リカさん。
You said sound of a voice like not Chan. Tut tut tut.
僕の友達がずっと長く入院していますが、その子はひなみ沢症候群ではないのですか？
それを誰に聞きましたか？
僕がそう思っただけです。
And because she already knows.
どうなのですか、入江。聡子はひなみ沢症候群ではないのですか？
Rika-chan is on our side. There's nothing I have to hide from her. Actually, I probably shouldn't keep anything from her.
はい。両親との不仲と、その両親の突然の死。彼女の心には、それは一度に受け入れるには、あまりに大きすぎる出来事でした。それが引き金になったのかもしれません。
検査の結果は？
レベル5です。上辺は非常に安定して見えますが、情緒は非常に不安定です。先日からサトシ君の見舞いも謝絶にしました。
サトシに聞きましたです。サトコの心の傷がなかなか癒えないと気にしていましたです。入江、サトコはどうなるのですか？
Sadako-chan is Rika-chan's best friend. How can I tell her that we're planning to dissect Sadako-chan? However, even if I don't say anything, she already knows that Sadako-chan's situation is extremely poor.
入江は僕の体を調べてたくさんのことが分かったのではないですか？
ええ、それはもちろんです。症状を抑える効果が期待される試薬も現在いろいろと試しているところです。
それを聡子に与えることはできませんのですか？
一度は考えました。しかしかなり危険です。体力や精神力に余裕がある検体に試し、少しずつデータを集めていこうという段階です。聡子ちゃんのようなもう後がない人間に試せるような代物ではありません。
では入江、その薬を試さないなら聡子はどうなってしまうのですか？
She spoke as if aware of our plans for Sadako-chan. No, she must actually know. I told her about most of my research. She's more mature than she looks, so it'd be easy for her to figure out.
僕は聡子が 1% でも助かる可能性があるならそれにかけるべきだと思いますです。
非常に危険な賭けです。最悪の場合、彼女は即座に末期発症し錯乱するか、さもなければ人としての心を失い、一生を焦点の合わない目で壁を見て過ごす体になってしまうかもしれない。どちらもそれはあまりに過酷な運命です。
And so her death is much better fate?
全身麻酔で痛みを感じさせずに眠ったままを殺す方がずっといいというの。入江、よく高野が言う通り、医学に 100% はない。でもこのまま放置すれば聡子を待ち受ける運命は 100% の絶対の死しかない。
But you just said there's no guarantees. But then you said that it's a guarantee that you'll die. Anyway.
ならばどちらにかけるかは明白なはず。
そうですね。その通りです。
But I know too well. C103, medicine that's being tested, may not even be something that can be used. May not even have a 1% chance of success. Worse, I can't even imagine what kind of tragic end she'd meet if her body rejects medicine. That's why I'm tempted to believe it would be far more merciful to feed her favourite food, let her gently fall asleep, and after that dissect her while she dreams. I don't want to admit it, but Takano-san is right. I'm being indecisive and showing a lack of resolve. How effective could the medicine made by someone like that really be? So, because it was medicine I created myself, I couldn't even believe there might be a 0.1% chance of success.
僕は入江の作った薬なら信用できると思いますです。
Of course you do, you already know the end result. She spoke as if she read my mind. Surprised, I raised my head up to look at her, and found her giving me a reassuring look I never would have imagined someone her age capable of.
入江は人の命を左右するとても辛い仕事に耐えている。本来人の生き死になど人間がどうにかしようというのがおこがましいこと。その重圧は背負った者にしかわからない。
Her voice hasn't changed, but I feel like Rika-chan is admonishing me, almost as if she knows what it's like to be responsible for human lives.
その重さは罪の意識と後悔の重さを加えて決められる。だから入江はまだまだ危険な薬を聡子に試せない。そうでしょ。
Takano-san said the same thing when she criticized me. I'm being criticized again.
でもだからあなたになら聡子を託せると思う。
え？
人の命はとても重い。その重みに耐えかねるのはあなたが人の命を大切にしたい心があるからこそよ。そんな心がなくしてどうして人を病気から救えるというの？高野みたいに人をモルモットとしか思ってないやつの治療薬なんか試せると思う？
I shouldn't have laughed, but I couldn't help it. Felt like I should laugh.
高野とあなたがそれぞれに薬を差し出したなら、私は入江の薬の方が治るように思う。
And Takano's would be to damn anyone?
だって薬は人の心から生み出されるんだもの。自分の身から滴り落ちる雫で 人を救いたいという気持ちが人の病を癒してくれる。
おっしゃる通りです。医者が薬のことで諭されるとは。
私は自分の体を他でもない聡子のために差し出した。私の体から注射針で抜き出したものは全て私から聡子に捧げる薬の雫。その雫から命の本当の重さを知り、日々後悔と自責を忘れないあなたが何かを抽出してくれたなら、それが聡子に効かないわけがない。
Do shrine maidens take confessions? If they do, she's doing a great job being a shrine maiden at this age.
これは賭けになります。聡子ちゃんが果たして受け入れてくれるかどうか。
聡子に伝える必要はありません。聡子にとってひなみ沢症候群を知ることは心の深い傷をもう一度えぐることにしかならないのだから。
What did she mean by those words? When I realized it later, I was surprised by how thoughtful and perceptive she was.
解剖計画を中止させましょう。北条聡子に対する C103 投与実験に変更します。
You literally just admitted to it.
せめて 1% でもうまくいく確率が上がるように努力します。
大丈夫ですよ。入江、絶対にうまくいきますです。
そんな楽観してはいけません。
大丈夫なのです。もう決まってることなのですから。これは古出神社の巫女様の心強いお告げです。ファイトオンなのですよ。
So we've probably got time for one more. Shall we go to H178 then? C103's implementation on Sedeko is going well so far. Wouldn't make any difference to me if the experiment failed. Well, Irie's extraordinary focus and attention to the experiment has avoided Sadako Ojo hallucinating or turning into a vegetable during the experiment. And surprisingly, we see prospects of her returning to normal life despite reaching L5. C103 still has many issues, and this experiment proved that even a person who has reached L5 can be cured. I didn't believe in it at first, but I guess I have to acknowledge Irie's hard work. Only Irie could have done this. He was tormented by naive humanism and didn't want to make mistakes. That is why he felt obligated to cure Sadako Hojo. The reason why I dislike Irie isn't because of his achievements or abilities, but because of that weakness. But this time, I had to praise him for it.
入江所長のレポートを拝見しましたわ。脱帽と言わざるを得ません。
いえ、私の研究者としての職務を果たしたに過ぎません。その結果、医者としての職務も果たせたなら、私にとってはそれに勝ることはありません。
今や聡子ちゃんは私たちにとって最も重要な検体になったと言っても過言ではないでしょう。
Wedding there?
何しろレベル5に至りながら生還した初めての人間なのですから。
その通りです。
I mean, technically every human who reaches L5 will die eventually.
彼女を社会生活に復帰させ、経過を見ながら長期観察に切り替えていきます。彼女には毎週日曜日にこちらに来てもらって検査を受けてもらえるよう話をするつもりです。
しかし C103 を日に3回も注射する義務と
毎週日曜日に検査に訪れる義務を彼女にどう説明されるおつもりで？彼女には何の病気の自覚もないのに。
そこは今うまく納得してもらえる話を考えています。今考えているのは私の研究論文に協力してもらうというものです。栄養剤の注射を毎日してもらい、毎週日曜日にその効果を検査する。その代わりに研究協力費としていくらかを支払うという感じです。
I guess Ilya is determined to cure Sadako Hojo no matter what. He seems determined to keep her off the section table. What a pity. He and I are in different positions, but I don't have any complaints about his naive ideas, so long as they translate directly into passion for our research. If his plans can be put into effect and produce a different result than the dissection would, then they'll still be useful to the overall understanding of the Hinazawa syndrome. I have nothing against Sadako Hojo. It's only that I see her as a research specimen. If she can be useful in that capacity without being dissected, that's perfectly fine with me.
日に3回もの注射となれば、これは本人だけでなく保護者の方の同意も不可欠です。確かご両親が亡くなってからはおじ夫婦に親権が移っていましたね。
Taking care of his nervous statement.
そちらに一度相談に伺おうと思います。メイへの怪しげな研究協力を承諾してもらえればいいのですが。
大丈夫ですわよ。そのための研究協力費ですもの。月に10万か20万も振り込んでやれば大喜びしますわ。
それだけの予算はありますか？
もちろん。二郎さんを納得させる資料を作りさえすれば。
わかりました。それは私が作ります。あと、さとこちゃんに心労をかけないよう指導しておく必要もあります。レベル5をぶり返すことになったら大変ですからね。噂ではおじ夫婦はとても現金な方だとか、金銭で丸め込むのは可能かもしれません。それらの指導も私の方できっちり行うつもりです。
I've heard Sadako-chan isn't getting along with her aunt and uncle. Never thought that affects us in any way. But now Irie has to deal with them. Maybe he's developed some kind of sense of responsibility or duty as her guardian. I don't really care. The more responsible he feels, the more progress our research makes. That'll be a plus for me.
それはそうと、H17 丸番台についてのレポートを拝見しました。
ええ。入江所長の成果に比べれば足元にも及びませんが、一応の研究成果を出せましたわ。
本当に皮肉ですね。彼女を錯乱から救う治療薬を作っていた研究所で、その傍らでは彼女を直ちに錯乱させる危険な薬が作られていたのですから。
Irie wasn't involved with H170 research. That was my work. In fact, even if I asked him, he wouldn't have agreed to be involved. This dangerous reagent was developed during the process of uncovering the mechanisms behind how the pathogens controlling Satsuko Hojo's brain could induce derangement or paranoia in their host. To put it bluntly, injecting H170 into a patient with Hinazawa syndrome forced them to express terminal symptoms. It threw the brain into a simulated state of agitation, intentionally forcing the pathogen to grow unstable. If we continue researching this, it will be possible to drive anyone with Hinazawa syndrome violently insane at any time. Studying the mechanism behind that will help to solve the syndrome's mysteries. So the study on H170 will be extremely important to future research. Also, this medicine has military applications, as the client requested. At this point, there's absolutely no use for it. Once our research progresses a bit further, this H170 could be spread at the right moment to cause a certain type of reaction. Compared to a killer virus, it seems like a useless pathogen. There's no way to detect it in a dead body. and it makes it look as though the person just went insane spontaneously, so it must have some useful applications. The Marco Polo Bridge incident threatened to end research on Higurashi syndrome before. A historically important incident like that couldn't have been created by a killer virus. And it's possible with Higurashi syndrome. The elders of the Alphabet Project, responsible for our research, can think whatever they want about that. I don't care how they use what I've learned. My purpose is to solve the mystery of Higurashi syndrome, to make people realize how important this research is. Also, to make people acknowledge my grandfather's accomplishments and achievements. Any military applications are just byproducts of the process that I don't care about. I didn't care about.
クライアントにとっては高野さんの成果の方が喜ばれるでしょう。来期の予算取りが楽になるかもしれませんね。
情熱だけでは研究は続けられませんものね。先立つものがなければ。
これだけの潤沢な資金を提供してくださるスポンサーさんには頭が上がりません。
I do enjoy his scowl.
これだけのお金が公費から出ているのですから。
日本という国は私たちが想像しているよりずっと豊かなのかもしれませんね。公費は公費でも表に出せない黒い公費でしょうけれどね。
Yuria has no idea what I had to go through to get that money. Anyway, our research is going extremely well. We don't know what we'll find out about Higurashi syndrome, but I'm sure every mystery will eventually be solved. I can hardly wait. What the syndrome indicates is that humans are simply empty containers. What we believe to be our will is simply reactions of parasites that live in our brains. What we believe to be our will is the mechanisms of our brain rather than parasites. Okay. If that mystery was solved, it would have a greater impact than anything else in history. That is a truth which nobody wants to believe. This is an achievement my grandfather predicted back during his time. So yeah, if we were simply empty containers, what reason would we create a brain for parasites to use? Going back probably like a dozen episodes by this point, I referenced like how ants could be controlled to stand at like the top of grass so they could be eaten by cows. Yeah, so sure, ants could be controlled, and the parasite lodges onto the some of the neuron clumps, I forgot what they're called. But it's not like every ant has those parasites in it, which forces them to go up and be eaten by cows. Most ants don't. Anyway, I know now. I know the reason why my grandfather was so fascinated by his work. Okay, so I'll end it here for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, as we get more of Takano's probably insane research, see ya.